In three, two, one. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy, the DreadMan. You're now tuned in to DreadMan Interviews, where the mic is mine, but the floor is yours. Here, I got my boy Keon, the food critic, and bro, you know you got to do it. You got to hit him with your famous catchphrase.
What's good,
What's
Mo?
good, bro?
What's up, Slim? What's going on, baby?
Yes, I got it. You gotta love it. Now,
What's
for everybody
good?
who doesn't know his content, at first, when I've been knowing him for a while, but I thought he was more of a sports and music guy. But he does a lot of food reviews, so that's what you're mainly known for, Keon. But what was the inspiration for you making food reviews specifically?
To be honest with you, the first time I did a food review was just for a joke. You know what I mean? I was just going. They had just opened up the spot, Papa's Box on Shenandoah, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, you should do a food review on them." And I was just joking, like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I went and did it. And yeah, it just kind of took off from there.
Shoot, I love it. I mean, you gotta love it. It's crazy how sometimes like you got to catch lightning in a bottle, like something like you just don't even expect it. Then all of a sudden, boom, it catch on like that. So when stuff like that happens, like you got to hit the ground running with it.
Yeah, facts.
All right. So what made you come up with your famous catchphrase?
Man, look, man. So just like, and that's my cousin down there saying I'm greedy. That's funny. Uh, just like the first interview, first food review, man. My catchphrase was by accident as well, and I think that's what makes it so authentic. Was that I was just kind of I just blurted it out honestly. Like to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you for the first about 5, 6 food reviews I did, bro. I kept having to listen to it over and over and over again to get it down. 'Cause I kept messing it up because it was by accident. You know what I'm saying? So it was not like I sat there and scripted it out and none of that. I feel like if I scripted it, it wouldn't have did as well as it's doing. You know what I'm saying? But because it's so genuine, because it's so authentic, I feel like that's why people will like it and people catch on. It's catchy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why people recite it so much.
Facts. I mean, and stuff like that happens. Like, a lot of people brainstorm catchphrases and stuff like that. Like, I wonder what can catch on or what, will make the people keep tuning in because, a lot of people got short attention span and something like that, a little catchphrase, like a little jingle at the beginning. That's what hooks people and make them want to watch. Like, all right, I got a chance to listen to his catchphrase. So now I'm locked into what he's got to say.
And that's exactly what it's been. Like my to the point my pastor at my church, man, every time he sees me, he says my catchphrase. You know what I'm saying? Like it's authentic like that. So that's kind of like why I like it because like I said, everybody that hear it, they take to it every time.
Yes, sir. Now, recently you started to take off a little bit. Now you started to get monetized from what I know. So, was that something that you first expected when you first got started?
Nah, like I said, man, the first review I did was just as a joke. You know what I'm saying? And even the first couple I did after that was just doing it because people started randomly sending me like places to go. You know what I'm saying? Like if you saw the list I have now, man, it's probably like 80 different places on there. That seemed like every time I delete 2 of them off there, like 5 more people send me 5 more places to go. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it was never my intention to be monetized. Like I said, everything that I'm getting now, man, from that point on has been total blessing. You know what I'm saying? It's super unexpected. Like I guess you could say the success I'm having in a sense was not expected at all.
For sure. Now you've been doing this for a little bit over a year now, right?
Nah, not even. That's the crazy thing about it. Yeah. The success I've been having has been fast at a short pace, man. I did my first food review in the beginning of November.
Wow. So yeah, about not 8 months, not even.
Yeah,
So yeah,
not even, yeah.
yeah.
So like I said, man, I appreciate it, cuz. But yeah, like I said, man, like I said, I think that's why it's taking off so much is because it was so unexpected. It's genuine. Like it's not scripted. I don't sit there and thinking about what I'm going to say or how I'm going to say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't delete my bloopers. I let my bloopers stay in there because I feel like they make the video because they're funny and they're authentic. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, like I said, I haven't been doing it that long, man. And I literally jumped from TikTok has been my most successful page, right? I push on TikTok, I push on Facebook, I push on Instagram and YouTube. But TikTok and Facebook are my most. TikTok, I went literally from like 1,500 followers to now almost 10,000 now in that short period of time. You know what I'm saying? So Not only am I getting monetized on Facebook, but getting monetized on Instagram. I mean, on TikTok, and I'm also having a few places reach out to me to come and do food reviews for free, just to get them, kind of bring them publicity.
That's amazing. Now, with you doing this in such a short amount of time, who've been some of your biggest supporters so far?
To be honest with you, man, the city has definitely been supporting like crazy, man. I'd say a lot of my supporters have been people that I don't personally know. People that just follow me on TikTok, man. They've been the ones that's literally been in my inbox, man, encouraging me, pushing me to keep going. Telling me that that me doing what I'm doing is encouraging them. You know what I'm saying? But overall, man, the city of all that, like I said, my whole purpose became my purpose behind it. After I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this, has become bringing light to a lot of local businesses. Right? I had a close friend of mine who had a food business. Um, he was actually a deacon at my old church, and he had a spot off Patterson, and it's called Heavenly Foods, and phenomenal food, but nobody hardly knew about it, and they had to close their doors, unfortunately, and that kind of struck me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, man, how many places out here has amazing food, amazing service, but no one knows about them, and they can't keep their doors open? So my motive has been to push narrative for local businesses. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people send me stuff like Carrabba's and all them, but those are chains. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows those. I want to get the places that nobody know about. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my whole motive is, to push those so that I can try to help them keep their doors open, man. That help small businesses.
Respect, win-win situation. That was going to be one of my later questions, but now let's get into your food reviews. Now, when you review a certain restaurant or a certain eating establishment, like what criteria do you base the food off of? Like what would make you give it a 1 as opposed to giving it a 10? What would you give it a 5 or a 7? Like, what is your score rating based off of?
So a lot of people don't know, man. Not only am I like, not only do I love to eat, right? But I'm actually a chef by trade. And a lot of people don't even know that, man. Like, I'm a chef by trade, and was a chef when I was in the military, and then like that. So a lot of times when I base the food off, is a lot of my culinary experience. You know what I'm saying? The presentation is one thing, service is another. I've worked a lot of hospitality, so service to me is very, very paramount. And then as far as being successful from a 1 to a 10, right? I factor in a lot of things. Being a cook, I factor in a lot of things, right? If I know that you're someone that's trying to get yourself known, and you're selling a plate out of a home, and I have to drive to get home and do it, or wherever I'm gonna get, I don't take points off for it, losing some of the heat or anything. I take stuff like that into factor, right? Versus being at a restaurant and it's served straight to me and it be cold or it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, I definitely, like I said, presentation is another big one. Flavor is another big one, and don't let it be something that I like genuinely enjoy, because then I'm going to be a harder critic on it. Things like seafood are my favorite thing to eat. Steak, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, so if I ask you for a medium rare steak, as a cook, I expect a medium rare steak, right? And if you don't bring me that, then I'm going to take points off of that. All right. I've always been told, and I've always told people, that a phenomenal steak doesn't need A1 sauce and stuff like that.
No.
You don't need anything if you have a phenomenal steak. So anytime I have to add to it, that's your steak not hitting for real. Yeah. So like I said, it's just presentation, man, flavoring, service, and how fast you get me in, and taken care of and stuff like that. That all factors into my experience and how I rate your organization.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people don't. I mean, when they go to a restaurant, I mean, of course, you're going for the food. The food's the main attraction. But yeah, the atmosphere and the presentation and how people present it, that's a big factor too. Because the food's gonna draw you in, but the atmosphere and everything else is gonna make you stay. So that's a big one for sure.
So I'm kind of getting to a point now where I'm getting notoriety to where people are starting to recognize me when I walk in places, right? And so I don't want that, because I want to have an authentic plate, right? Because I've gone places and I've rated them high, and other people have gone places and they're like, nah, my experience wasn't like that. And I started realizing that places will make their plate superb because they know I'm rating them, versus someone that's coming in and just eating regular, right? So I tend to try to have either someone get the plates for me now, so they won't know it's me rating them, or I try to when I do order, I try to go in with someone and have them order it, and then we go sit down and eat and rate it. I won't allow people. I try not to allow people to see my face if I could help it, because most times I go places now they recognize me as the food review guy here in Roanoke, and so then I know that if you see me, you recognize me, you know I'm going to rate you. You're going to try to make your plate better than what you would normally do it just because you know I'm rating it, and that's not fair.
Now, with you being a food critic, do you also cook and make your own dishes as well? And if so, what are some of your favorites?
Yeah, I cook. I definitely still cook. One of my favorite things my kids love is spaghetti. They love spaghetti, but I make my spaghetti a little different. I'm definitely big on adding a little sugar to my spaghetti. I like the sweet and savory, definitely. And I actually with my spaghetti, I add Italian sausage to it. So a lot of people don't know, like a lot of people don't know, I use a spicy Italian sausage, ground Italian sausage, and add it into my spaghetti as well. That's one. Another one is an Irish dish, shepherd's pie. I love making shepherd's pie. Yeah, shepherd's pie is one of my favorite things to make. I absolutely love making that. And then I'm very big on traditional soul food. You know what I mean? Like I've done Thanksgiving dinner for my family a few times. You know what I mean? So I can cook a mean pig feet chitlin, fried chicken, turkey. I can do it all. You know what I mean? So there's really nothing that I can't put my hand on and not do. Although I am pretty soon here going to be going back to Western to kind of sharpen my skills a little bit. It's been a little while since I've been out the kitchen, so I'm actually getting ready to kind of transition into getting into culinary. I haven't made much mention of it, but I think I'm going to start pushing along my food reviews, start pushing a little bit of the social media cooking as well, and trying to get some content creator and start doing some plates and stuff like that and pushing that way as well.
Well, yeah, for sure. I could definitely see you getting into, making videos and making content, getting in the kitchen and making some of your own dishes. That'll be a huge one for you right there. That'll get your foot in the door. But yes, also, give us your top three types of food and why you like. I mean, are you more of a Chinese food guy, an Italian food guy, Mexican food, soul food? Like, what are your top three types?
Top three. So number one for me would be Italian. I love Italian food. Um, and every like me being in the military, I've been to probably over 20 different countries. And so when I was in Italy, whatever country I went to, I would always try to go to those mom and pop spots, right? I would never try to go to the spots that are commercial. You know what I mean? Overseas they still have McDonald's and stuff like that. No, I want the mom and pop spot that you're gonna get the authentic of the authentic. And so I used to love going to Italy and trying to find those mom and pop spots and get some authentic Italian food. That is number one. Number two for me would be Mediterranean food. I love Mediterranean food, man. Like I love gyros, chicken shawarma, baklava, stuff like that, man. I have an aunt who's from the mid, so she definitely used to make that stuff like that when I was growing up. So that's my second favorite type of food, and third would be soul food, man. I love. Well, you know what? I say soul food, but I'm gonna tell you, like, to me, it's not. I don't classify it as cuisine, even though it is, because I'm from Maryland. Paramount top number one for anything is gonna be seafood. I can eat seafood 7 days a week, 365. It don't matter, right? But if I go specific cuisine, it would be Italian, Mediterranean food, and soul food.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Now, you're mostly a local slash DMV area food critic, but do you plan on taking this nationwide or maybe even out of the country? Like, what are some spots that you would like to visit, like to try their food, like New Orleans and maybe even like Texas and like I'm hearing New Orleans got some very very good food, but yeah, like what are some spots in the country that you would like to visit that you haven't yet to try their food, and maybe some international spots?
So actually, yeah, man. I'm pushing local right now, but I've actually had the pleasure of dabbling outside of the area. I just came back from Kissimmee, Florida, not too long ago, and I did a food review down there where they had the world of food trucks, and it's like 50 different food trucks from 50 different Hispanic countries that you can go and try different food, man. And me and my niece did a food review down there, and that was pretty dope. That was actually the second food review that I did in Kissimmee. I have a few spots on my list that's in Greensboro and Durham, North Carolina. I'm gonna be checking out here pretty soon. But ideally, man, I'm trying my best not to put a limit or expectation on anything, because I don't want to set anything and it doesn't peak or go out to where it is. So I'm kind of just like going with the flow of stuff. But like I said, another thing I haven't made mention of, man, that I've always, and my mom used to say this, she thought I would be good at it, but I always like wanted to have like a Food Network show as a food critic, right? And so something like that, man, or like a cooking show on the Food Network, man, would be super dope. So like if something like this can lead to me being connected to the Food Network and getting there, so Food Network, if you listening, man, hey, look, y'all want to get me, come get me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would.
Right there.
It would definitely be super dope, man, to get something like that, man, and have my slogan going worldwide. Now, my slogan is not made by me, right? Now, the way I put it, the style and the flavor with it is me, right? The what's good, Mo, what's up, Slim, what's going on, baby, right? But those are all terms from Maryland or DC. All right. Everybody asks me like, well, who's Mo? Who's Slim? You know what I'm saying? So Mo and Slim are terms to use that other places use, like son or bro or homie. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's Mo, everybody's Slim. You know what I'm saying? It's just terms that we use in Maryland, DC. Like, what's good, Mo? Like, or you be like, what's up, bruh? Or what's up, home? What's up, Slim? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So that's how we do it. So man, that'd be great, man. That's my ideal. Now I do follow quite a few food viewers, and a lot of them, man, have gotten their followers over millions to whereas they're now making enough money on doing their food reviews to whereas they're able to travel overseas and do stuff. Man, I saw a guy not too long ago did something. Yeah, I seen another guy do not too long ago do something in Dubai, man, which is super dope. And I would love to do something like that, man. If I can travel, man, that'd be love, man.
Sure. Now, yeah, now all the places you've been to, like, would you say that the best food you've eaten is like from chain restaurants or from the locally owned restaurants, like the mom and pop restaurants?
Local owned for sure. Local owned for sure. I mean, hands down, my favorite restaurant here in Roanoke or even period, is Carrabba's. That's why. That's my favorite. That's because I love Italian food. And their food tastes more authentic, Italian authentic to what I remember when I was overseas than like Olive Garden and stuff like that. But local for sure, hands down, man. It's a place in Bedford called Sisters and Brother. Phenomenal soul food. A spot I just went to in Benton called 525 Sharma. Phenomenal food. So it's local spots for me have been hitting A1 here, man, for sure.
Yeah, sure. Now, what would be some advice that you have for people who are who see you and are inspired? What would you say? What advice would you give to a younger person who's trying to do what you do?
Man, whether it's young or old, man, my thing is, I tell anybody, bro, like, just go for it. You feel me? You see me on Facebook a lot, man. I advocate a lot for the city to come together, right? I feel like when it comes to things, man, and somebody might catch on to something, there's a lot of gatekeeping going on, right? And people feel like, oh, I'm making it. I got to hold it to myself. That's not how I get down, man. Like for me, I'm having success, and my success is everybody else's success. Because if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? If you got a question, I'm going to tell you. Like I've had people, since I made my post about getting monetized, people hit me, hey, how you do this? And I've been telling them, look, this is what I do. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this table in this city is so big that there's enough space for all of us to win. You know what I mean? And for me, I see the bigger picture of success as a city. It's too many people that want success as a person, right? Whether it's sports, like you say, I'm a big sports guy. I coached 10 years AAU basketball. I train kids in boxing now. You know what I'm saying? I've done so much sports related in the city, and I'm not even from here. It breaks my heart to see so many people want to branch off and do so many different things under the same umbrella instead of just coming together and putting Roanoke on the map. Like this is not even my city, but I love the city genuinely. Like Roanoke has so much talent here, whether it's culinary, whether it's just content creating, whether it's sports, whether it's anything, man, that music, everything, that if everybody came together, Roanoke could really be on the map. But because everybody's fighting against each other, you know what I'm saying? This city's too small to be fighting against each other. You know what I'm saying? We got to work together to be able to fight against bigger cities. And so when anybody that hasn't needs any advice from me, man, I'm all my DMs are always open, man. You ask me, it's cool, man. Like I said, all I tell them to do is, man, be genuinely them. Go for it. Don't try to go by script. Don't care about what somebody else does. Somebody like my saying might work. My verbiage, my saying might work for me, but it might not work for somebody else. Somebody else, I see some other food reviews that do great, and what they do may not work for me. You know what I'm saying? So be genuinely you. Go out here and do your thing. You're gonna have haters. I've had some, but you're not popping if you don't got them. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that even though some of them have said some hurtful stuff, you know what I'm saying, to brush it off. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so thankful for my local supporters, because a lot of my local supporters have really pushed me to brush it off and keep going.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that 100% because I've noticed all the talent and all the skill that people have here, whether it's sports, movies, music. The talent pool in here is endless, but it's just that a lot of people have this crab in a bucket mentality, and that's what's stopping a lot of people from succeeding. That's the thing is, I feel like that I've been doing this content creating thing for a little bit over a decade and a half. So I mean, and I'm just now starting to pick up some traffic again. But yeah, like once we get that crab in a bucket mentality, because I feel like that I could use my platform to help rise other people's platforms.
Absolutely.
Like
people don't even know. Like I got a podcast. People don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I've had a podcast for almost 4 years. People don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I got shared a few times. It don't really get no love, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's another thing, and that people have to realize.
But you're doing it because you love it. And also, guys, don't forget that once you stop loving the game, is when it'll stop loving you. A lot of people will do it because, oh man, I got it. It'll really start to feel like work if you don't love what you do. See, my boy Keon, like he does this because he loves what he does, and that's the reason why he keeps on getting the traffic and the love and support that he does. It's for the love of the game.
Don't put a timeline on your success. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter if you're doing this 12, 14, 15 years, man. And like you said, if you love it, you enjoy it, you do it for you. And if it's meant to take off, it's going to take off. You know what I'm saying? But when you love it, regardless if you take off or not, you'll be genuinely happy with the material you put out because you did it for you.
Exactly. Keon, we're going to wrap it up here for everybody watching here and on YouTube. I'm going to post this on YouTube as well and on Facebook. Once again, let them know who you are and tell them where they can find you.
Man, my name Key. Y'all know me with Eating with Key, man. Y'all can find me on Facebook, Keon McCoy, Instagram, Keon McCoy or 4B Key 88. You can find me on YouTube. YouTube is Eating with Key. On here on TikTok, man. You can find me. You can follow me on here, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. Make it happen. Support, please, man. When you get on here, repost my videos, comment, love, share them on Facebook. The more we can get these companies out here, man, the more of traffic we get to them and help them keep their doors open, man. It ain't even about me. You know what I'm saying? I care less about if people know me, man. I mean, it's about trying to help these doors stay open because people got to feed their families, man.
For sure. Well, anyway, that's a wrap. That'll be it for interviews with the DreadMan Keep. I appreciate the time, brother. You are a talented man. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it, and we all appreciate it.
I appreciate you, bro. Salute.
All right. That'll do it for DreadMan interviews, where the mic is mine, but the floor is yours. Peace.
My man.
And cut.